Welcome back. I'm Matt Wyman.
And I'm Matt Romeo.
And this is
Between Two Matts.
So now we're going to do our not-so-amazing review of The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also kind of rhymed.
Yeah, it kind of rhymed. But, yeah, we're going to do a nice little spoiler review of The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So if you have not seen it, don't listen to this. Go watch it, even though I don't think it was worth it.
And I'm going to give you... I'm going to let you guys know why we're doing a spoiler review of this, because honestly it wasn't that good.
And we have to go into specific spoiler points to convey why it wasn't good.
Yeah. Like with a Winter Soldier, we were able to see, like, the acting was really, really good.
And the action was really good.
And it was divided so evenly that we were able to just be able to talk about certain choreography or character development without actually revealing anything.
But with this, we have to give plot points to say why they didn't work.
Yeah.
Because this movie is, for the better part, it's kind of a mess.
Yeah. And the first thing that I kind of want to talk about is that it's actually pretty good. The first, I don't know, is it 30 minutes or 45?
When Electro first gets his powers in the Times Square battle,
up into that battle, it's pretty good. It's got the right pacing for a Spider-Man movie. It's got the right action and scene shots of him going through the city, of him graduating from high school, of his relationship developing even further with Gwen Stacy. But
except
for kind of not. It's weird. They're the worst on again off again couple ever.
Oh my god! I was just like, please just bang you two, just get it over with.
But it's good. It's good. And you get this nice little introduction to whatever his name is, Max Dillon, who is played by Jamie Foxx, who is generic nerd 86.
Yeah, seriously. He was the most generic character you could have put in this movie.
It really, there was not a lot of thought into this person or how this person acts.
Because it was it's like, oh, he's one of those guys who's like, oh, the second he gets attention, he gets obsessed. And I'm like, yeah, we've seen that a billion times.
Hey, have you ever seen, I'm going off topic real quick. Have you ever seen the Roommate? The Andy Samberg parody of The Roommate. It was like that. It was bad.
Yeah. But then once he became Electro,
he got the God complex or the enigma.
Well, it wasn't necessarily the God complex. It was the first few minutes of him being Electro was the part where I was like, okay, now I feel for his character because he's confused. He doesn't know what's going on. He's just like, just please leave me alone.
He has no idea what's going on. He's absorbing an incredible amount of energy, not meaning to.
And all the cops are all trigger happy because they're like, oh, we got this is a freak. We got to take him down. And he's just like, please just leave me alone.
That right there is when it stops being good. It just stops. Mm-hmm. They have the Spider-Man 3 weird villain or too many villain thing.
Well, it wasn't just too many villains. It's because there weren't enough. The villains were barely even in the movie. It was the fact that they tried to cram too many plot points in the movie. They were trying to go with the whole Peter Gwen thing, his parents thing, Electro, Green Goblin, Harry and Peter's relationship, the Rhino.
But the Rhino was more like a rally point for him to come back as Spider-Man.
But that should have been saved for the third movie. It should have been the movie should have ended with Gwen Stacy's death. That should have been the end of the movie.
And despite the stupidity of the Green Goblin being in that, honestly, that is the most perfect Gwen Stacy dying scene there is.
I actually have to say that Dane DeHaan, who played Harry Osborn, that was the best Green Goblin I've seen.
I thought it was weird.
Granted, it was way too rushed, but I was so happy that we saw the disfigurement rather than it was just being a mask.
But the Green Goblin doesn't... Never mind. We're getting into comic book details.
Yeah.
I did not like that.
Really?
I mean, I can see the appeal towards it, but I thought it was kind of weird.
They were going off of the Ultimate Goblin.
Right. I just thought it was weird, and I couldn't identify with it. as much.
was because they rushed it. They were like, "Oh, Harry needs to be bad for the last 20 minutes of this movie. Quick! We got to make him Green Goblin." And I'm like, "Guys, save him for later. You guys are clearly trying to set up a shared universe, so you're not restricted to just 3 films. You don't need to rush this." Because
I mean, it was done.
It was sloppy.
Sloppily. Yeah, it was just done very sloppily. And honestly, I think it's because Winter Soldier came out first.
Yeah, and Winter Soldier set the bar so high that now I'm starting to get scared for X-Men Days of Future Past.
You already know that I was afraid of that.
I mean, I'm stoked for it, but now that I'm like, Winter Soldier set the bar so high, I'm like, Days of Future Past might suffer the same fate as Amazing Spider-Man 2.
I don't know. Let's get back to Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Despite the weird Peter Parker, Harry Osborn relationship, which they've always had, it is weirder in this movie than ever before.
Because they try and make you assume that they've been friends.
Yeah.
And it's like, no,
there's no actual evidence that they're friends.
It's like, we are friends.
Yeah, but it's worse than that.
Yeah.
It's like, I haven't seen you in 10 years. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I was like, what is this? You can't just jump into this. Because, like, when in the first Amazing Spider-Man, when they discluded Harry Osborn, I was like, okay, I guess Harry Osborn is not going to be in this movie series, and that maybe Flash would take his place. But Flash is nowhere to be found in this movie.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I can't. It's just odd.
The whole Osborn story was forced into this movie merely for the purpose of making Green Goblin be a plot device to kill Gwen Stacy.
Which is a good plot device, but that deserves its own movie.
Yeah, Green Goblin should have been the villain, not Electro.
Yeah. I mean, okay, if you take him out and he's done for the rest of the movie, makes sense, right? If you take him out of the rest of the movie, kind of makes sense.
Yeah, because, I think they were trying to avoid the Sam Raimi thing with Green Goblin being the pivotal part of the series, but it's like, that would have been a much better villain relationship because he and Harry are friends, and then as the course of the movie goes by and their relationship sours, then it makes more of an emotional thing for when Harry becomes Green Goblin and kills Gwen Stacy.
I think it just comes down to this is not Disney Marvel, it's Sony Marvel.
It's Sony Marvel, and they don't know what they're doing.
And while they can get into a series relatively well, they can't like what's it called? Like come back at it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give this a 6.
I'm gonna give it a 5.8.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. But that about wraps it up here for us at Between Two Matts. I'm Matt Romeo.
And I'm Matt Wyman.
And this was
Between Two Matts.